Please welcome to the stage, Paulina Combow.
Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. 10, 20s on your titty, bitch. 100 VIP.
Hey, y'all. What's up, Nashville? Hey! I'm not a lawyer. Yeah. I think I dated one once. That's about as close as I get. Anyways, yeah. Oh my God, I'm so glad to be home. I'm from here. Can you tell? Other than my cold that I have. It's so nice to be back home where everybody sounds like me. You know, everybody sounds like Reese Witherspoon getting a DUI. It's great. And we know that really happened, so. It's really fun. I don't know. It's just so nice to be back, you guys. I've been here for a week, back in Franklin, Tennessee. Got to eat at my favorite Indian sandwich shop back home. I think you have one. It's called Subway. Ate there twice already. You guys have been such a fun crowd for a Tuesday night. Everybody went to work today, you guys. Thank you for coming out here, you know. We don't know what it's like. Thank you for coming. Yes. Give yourself a hand. You got that bucket up. That bucket's done. Get another bucket over here, you guys. Another bucket! Such a great crowd. I was worried that my family was gonna come and heckle me, but nobody's doing that so far, thank God. You guys are just heckling a little bit with your faces, that's all. Just a little bit. Like this guy right here, you know? There's nothing wrong with your face at all. I'm not saying that. But you're not laughing that much. You just have this kind of disappointed look on your face that I'm very familiar with. It's like that dad look, you know? I don't know specifically if you know this look, like when your dad is like, why do I have a 6-foot-tall 9-year-old who's not at all interested in basketball? One of those looks. You have the look of a face of a man whose daughter is never gonna get a scholarship. Never. No chance. Talking about my dad, you guys. This guy's fine. You're gonna be okay. Your kids are gonna be fine. They'll never do comedy. I can guarantee it. Now he's staring. Now he's staring. You guys have been great. No, I was forced to play basketball at a young age. That wasn't fun. I'm not into it whatsoever. Like sweating, the first time I sweat, I'm like, no, not doing this. Seriously, you have to run across the whole court. And then they just throw the ball back the other way. Do you know that? I was just over there. But no. I was like a freakishly tall child. That's true. But I'm kind of not too bad now. I'm like 5'9", 5'10". It's kind of average height, you know, like maybe a guard, not a center. So okay. I still get self-conscious about it now. Because, I mean, it's fun to be this height now, but not when you're 9 years old. Trust me. It's, hard to understand. It's hard to contemplate when you're 9, why you're suddenly getting extra attention from your friends' dads. It's like, why? Not that interesting. I don't know. You wear a blazer to 3rd grade one time, and they charge you the adult lunch price in the cafeteria. So embarrassing. My mom didn't give me enough money. Miss Patsy was like, hon, I'm so sorry. I thought you was a sub. Take out those shoulder pads. What are you doing? I'm still kind of self-conscious about it, to be honest. I always want to date guys that are taller. Don't we all? It's just not enough to go around, though, so. Date who you love. So my boyfriend now, he's the normal height for a man. But unfortunately, so am I. I don't know if, give it up for everybody you've seen so far. This has been great. This has been a fun show. Yeah. because I've been living in LA for over 2 years, right? Ugh. Like, I'm still not used to being high all the time. You know what I mean? Like, weed's legal there. Are you guys ready for that? You ready? Okay, that's good. I'm just trying to take the temperature of the room, if I'm honest, right now. Before I get into my other things. Like, I don't see any red hats, so I feel safe here. Okay. I'm not a political comic. But I was really proud. My mom ran for office this past year, right? She's right over there. Give her a shout out. Woo! Women need to rule more things, right? Yeah. Local government starts with local government. Was so proud of her, you guys. But she's a Republican, so I didn't want her to win. Very proud. Very proud. Very proud. No. Like, to top it off, like, I am turning into my mom. We all are, aren't we? You're turning into one of your parents, right? Yeah. I look like her, I sound like her, I talk like her, I mean everything. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy too. She's a wonderful person. She voted for Trump. Got a great heart, though. Good heart. I warned her about these, don't worry. So yeah, she's a great person, but mother-daughter relationship, you know, like sometimes we have tiffs. Like my birthday's in January, Capricorn. Anybody else? Woo! One more? Yeah! It's up to my sea goat over here. You got your crystals in your bra? Good luck. My sister gave me that. Good luck. So I'm like expecting like birthday plans. My birthday's in January. January's coming around, and she's like, so maybe for your New Year's resolution, you should decide to wear makeup every day. So I found out a way to get back at her, y'all. So me being her evil twin, during her campaign, she dolled up her like big white Cadillac Escalade as like her roving campaign headquarters with her signs all over it. Vote for Nancy. And when I would get upset with her, I would just ask to borrow her car. I look like her, I sound like no. I would just do a couple laps around town and that baby and not wave at a single motherfucker. Flipped off a couple. No. She can run again in 4 years. It's okay. It's okay. It's about the experience. It's about the experience. Oh, do you still like me, Mom? We talked about this. We did. But no, we're good. I'm actually from one of those small towns in Kentucky, right over the border. You probably know the name of it. It's like one of those small towns where the people with the least amount of teeth can pronounce the most prescription drugs. Methamphetamines! Yes! Yes! We know about meth. But like, we're not judging. This is my own kin. That's why they call it Kentucky. We all kin. Why? I know. The same people who can't pronounce both R's in the word library, Going to the Berry to check our email, you know that, yeah. Same people. You pull out a little thing of Tic Tacs and they're like, what you got there? Methamphetamine, pseudoephedrine, acetaminophen. You're like turning to Busta Rhymes and Civil Parade all of a sudden. Good people. It's my fam. I love them. You guys are having a great time. Thanks to me. No. All right, so let's talk about ourselves. Has anybody in here tried the Ancestry DNA? You want to know where you come from, right? Yeah. $69 on sale. Why not? You know what I mean? I know. I was like, I'll give it a shot. You know, I figured they were going to give me a pie chart or something. All I got back was an IKEA catalog and an ABBA CD. So I could have gotten these things for free if I tried. No, but they did. They sent you back your results. What are you? Do you know somebody that did it?
Scandinavian.
British, Scandinavian.
Mine says they couldn't find it.
I'll call you Kal-El, okay? Don't let her get in the sun, you guys. Wow. I have not heard that. That's impressive. I'm like, yes, all European countries, as I suspected. You know, same here. Yeah. I found out, like, my mom's side's Irish and my dad's side's ghosts. Makes sense. I'm pale. I know. I never understood why all the kids, like when I was at school, would be like, "Sam, are you related to Casper the Friendly Ghost?" I'm like, aren't we all related to ghosts, technically? I never understood. I didn't quite get it. No, one of the things I did find, they tell you some of the people you're related to, you know. I found out I'm related to both the Hatfields and the McCoys. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, that's the most famous feuding family. If you don't know who that is, it's like the Montagues and the Capulets. You know, if you know who that is, you graduated high school, like, don't worry. Don't worry, you're cool. Related to both the Hatfields and the McCoys. Like, it explains all my inner turmoil, you know, like why I hate myself so much, and it explains why I have this bad side and this, like, murderous side. Some of those things. You know, these are your family. What are you going to do? I don't know. I've been living in Los Angeles for a couple of years. The West Side's a little weird. It's a little weird. I'm not used to the grocery stores out there. I know that's a weird thing to not be on board with. But, I mean, our grocery stores here are awesome. You have to admit, we have things like Piggly Wigglies and Winn-Dixie's. Things that make you feel good about eating, you know? Like, let's eat. We go buy some food. No, I mean, I can say that I was in a Piggly Wiggly commercial when I was a teenager. Like, I think that's how I got the bug, honestly. To get out to LA. You get it. I got to be in the commercial because I worked at Piggly Wiggly as a checker. But not just that, after that my little sister worked at Piggly Wiggly, and then my little cousin worked at Piggly Wiggly. I know, I started a whole Piggly Wiggly dynasty. We're basically the Clintons of Kentucky, you guys. Or the Bushes if you prefer, Mom. I know, like, I just have all this history, this rich history with, like, the Pick 5 meat sales. So when I went out west and I'm looking for the pig, they're like, no, like, you're gonna have to go buy your groceries at this place called Safeway. That sounds like a battered women's shelter. I know, I was like, is that what you call Planned Parenthood? I want to buy a Lunchable there. But I had to buy food eventually, so I went in there, put my stuff on, and, you know, like, the checkers, like, we're cool, so I was like, so is this where I come back if I need to get an abortion? Damn. She was nice. Like, she didn't treat me stupid like the other people in LA do. She was like, honey, no, that you go to Smart and Final for that. That's a real store name. Smart and Final. Can you stop by there after work? Smart and Final. That's terrible. Terrible. All right, you guys. I have, like, a new little thing I've been working on. It's a little bit of a sensitive subject, but has anybody in here ever, you know, had to give up on their dreams because of the color of their skin? Anybody? Anybody else? Nobody? All right, I'll explain. I mean, I like being a comedian. This wasn't my first choice. I wanted to be a lifeguard, you guys. I love Baywatch. I love Pamela Anderson, honey. I thought she solved crimes and rescued people all in a one piece. I didn't know anything about hepatitis, like gross. I don't know it. I was just excited, you know. I was like, I'm gonna be a lifeguard. But then eventually I realized I was never meant to be, because I would burst into flames on my first day. Come on. I have to wear sunscreen to bed, y'all. This is like a moon burn I got right here. Moon burn. And you know, growing up in a small town, like we had limited opportunities. You get invited to a pool party, like I did, right? You know, it's a normal question to ask. Is it above or below ground pool party? You know? Do you need a lifeguard? No, no, you don't. Am I gonna have to climb up a ladder or down a ladder to get into the water? Is there a family of mosquitoes living on the premises? You just gotta be safe. I don't know. There was only 2 pools in my whole town that even had lifeguards. Public pool and then the country club. We weren't members of the country club. And those were both outside, so I couldn't go. Like, imagine my surprise when I learned about indoor swimming pools. Like, all this time, my dreams could have been accomplished by just working at a YMCA. Like, grad school, all those things. Like, I could have just been scanning the water for little kids, for turds in the water. I don't know. I'm just like, what if I just totally was like, screw it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a lifeguard, this is my dream. I'm sure I would, like, melanoma be damned, I'm gonna do this, you guys. I feel like I'd be out there on my bench, the little ladder thing. You wouldn't be able to tell where the swimsuit began, where my flesh ended, you know. I see somebody in trouble in the distance and I'm like, can you try to drown more in the shade where I can come and get you? Please. Yeah. You know, okay. New bit. I'm trying it. So what am I doing out in LA? You guys are wondering. People are always like, what do you do for money? Are you eating? Seriously. What I've been doing a lot is a personal assistant in Beverly Hills. Babysitter to rich people. That's what that is. Yeah, I work for a Pilates instructor who thinks I'm obese, apparently. Right? I don't think I'm obese, you guys. This is the skinniest I've ever been in my life. I can't afford to eat anything in LA. All they have are like poke bowls, acai bowls. I just stick a Kraft single on top of that. That's the only way I can eat it. It's the only way. All right, guys, my time's almost up. I just want to remind you, please tip your servers, you guys. Yeah, they're working hard. They're bringing you guys all your stuff. And the service is still good in Nashville. You got to enjoy it while you can, because service in LA, no. And I should know, I serve at a comedy club in LA, and we do not care. Like, we're there for something else. Not you, not your ranch, not your food allergies. Like, we don't care. No, not at all. But the thing that annoys me, seriously, because like sometimes I do get to go to restaurants on a date or whatever, and I hate it when you feel like you're stranded at your table. You're done eating, they won't bring your check, right? You're just sitting there like, please let me leave. And what's the symbol? Everybody has that symbol to bring the check, right? You know it. One of those. Mouth it. Ignore. We don't care. We'll bring it when we want, yeah. But here's your new symbol, okay? Instead of doing this, flip your wrist over. And when you need attention from your waiter, just go. Like that.